At 60 years old, Keanu Reeves is one of the biggest action stars on the planet. The man who stopped bullets in The Matrix, the man who avenged a dog in John Wick, the quiet force who has ruled cinema for more than 3 decades. But there's something nobody tells you. While most Hollywood icons collect mansions and scandals, Keanu Reeves rides the subway. While others show off their wealth, he gives away millions in silence. While fame inflates egos, he became known as one of the most humble people in the industry. And that humility wasn't born from success. It was forged in tragedy. Behind the action hero is a man who buried his newborn daughter, a man who lost the love of his life in a sudden accident, a man who watched his closest friend die at 23, a man whose father disappeared before he could even form memories. So how does someone who lost nearly everything become Hollywood's most generous soul? To understand Keanu, you can't start with the movies. You have to start with the boy who never had a place to call home. He was born on September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, to a British costume designer mother and a restless father who walked away when Keanu was just 3 years old. Years later, Keanu admitted he had no memory of what it felt like to have a father. That absence stayed with him, a quiet scar that never fully healed. His childhood became a series of suitcases and fresh starts. Beirut to Sydney, Sydney to New York, finally Toronto. Home was always temporary. His mother remarried several times, and Keanu grew up with different stepfathers, none of them truly filling the empty space. He changed schools constantly, to attending 4 high schools in 5 years and never graduating. Dyslexia made reading painfully difficult, turning classrooms into daily reminders of what he struggled to do. He wasn't lazy, he was overwhelmed, bright but lost. Two places brought him peace: the hockey rink and the stage. On the ice, he felt free. In community theater, he discovered something deeper. Acting gave him a place to release emotions he couldn't explain. By 17, he dropped out of school and chose the most uncertain path imaginable: becoming an actor. Los Angeles didn't welcome him gently. He arrived at 22 with a thin resume, working odd jobs, sleeping on couches, and attending auditions where casting directors barely looked up. His first real foothold came in 1986. Then in 1989, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure unexpectedly made him famous. Suddenly, and he was visible, but fame didn't erase loneliness. During this rise, he formed a deep friendship with River Phoenix. They connected over feeling out of place in Hollywood. River understood Keanu's quiet nature. Keanu understood River's pressure to be perfect. Then on October 31st, 1993, River collapsed outside a nightclub and died from an overdose at 23. Keanu rarely spoke about it afterward. When asked, he would simply say, "I miss him." 3 words. Endless wait. Just months later came Speed, launching Keanu into global stardom. And in 1999, The Matrix turned him into a cultural icon. Neo became a symbol of awakening. Keanu stood at the peak of his career. Yet what he wanted most wasn't fame. He wanted family. He found that hope with Jennifer Syme. They fell in love quietly. In late 1999, she became pregnant, and Keanu stepped away from work, painted the nursery himself, and prepared for fatherhood. Then on December 24th, 1999, their daughter Ava was stillborn. Keanu held his child, knowing she would never open her eyes. 18 months later, Jennifer died in a car accident. In less than 2 years, he lost his baby and the woman he loved. He vanished from public life. Friends said he became a ghost. He didn't talk about it. He simply endured. Around the same time, his sister Kim was battling leukemia. For 10 years, Keanu rearranged his entire career to care for her, paying for treatments and staying by her side. In 2001, she finally went into remission. Relief arrived mixed with unbearable grief. Instead of becoming bitter, Keanu changed. He became softer. He began riding public transit, sitting alone on park benches, and giving away massive portions of his earnings to film crews, quietly helping strangers with medical bills, buying gifts for stunt teams, none of it announced, most of it discovered by accident. Loss taught him that money means nothing when people can vanish in an instant. Years later, when his career seemed to be slowing, John Wick arrived. Keanu saw himself in the character, a man driven by grief, searching for purpose. He trained relentlessly and poured his own pain into the role. The film revived his career and introduced him to a new generation. But more importantly, it showed who he had become. Not an invincible hero, a survivor. In 2019, Keanu quietly found love again with artist Alexandra Grant. No spectacle, no headlines, just two people choosing peace. Today, Keanu still lives simply. He signs autographs until every fan is satisfied. He gives more than he keeps. He deflects praise. He says he already has everything he needs. Keanu Reeves didn't become kind because life was kind to him. He became kind because life was cruel, and he chose a different answer. His legacy isn't just movies or box office numbers. It's proof that tragedy doesn't have to harden you, that loss doesn't have to steal your humanity, and that sometimes the strongest people are the ones who learn to give after everything has been taken. Not invincibility, unbreakable kindness.